I'm sorry, on Zoom. Here we go. And then I'm also live on TikTok. And the transmissions, the Thursday morning transmissions are a guidance that I received for me to go ahead and offer messages regarding where we are right now as humanity goes, where we are heading, and any kind of messages that my Pleiadian High Council of or Light Council from Erra wants to share with us. I also channel at times different messages from the Ascended Masters. I'm particularly connected when I have that openness and intention with the sacred feminine energy, and they are always with me, and it's taking me a while. For those of you who don't know me, considering that I'm quite at the beginning with this, it's been taking me a while to prepare myself with the body and mind to create space for these transmissions to happen. And so for me, it's quite a big deal because my ego, my personality was in the way of this. I'm not quite ready to go. It's a big deal that I'm going live, okay, with this. I'm not quite ready to go live with anybody at the same time and asking questions live, but I do take questions in comments, and then I choose the questions, and then whatever they choose to answer, the answer comes from them, not from me. However, my personality, my own human side, my own human ego, it's still fighting this sometimes. And it's that question like, well, do I sound really crazy or not? Is it me? Is it them? It's been a few months of adjustments, and also I gotta tell you, there have been lots of body adjustments as well. I had to start taking magnesium because when the energy is raising, I feel like heart palpitations. So the more I clear the space, the more I dissolve my own human personality, the more judgments and care about what people may say go away. However, it's a work in progress. So don't um I cannot say that, and good if for some people has happened overnight, then good for them. But for me it hasn't. For me it's been a process, and so I am not doing this to like gain anything out of it. I'm doing this because that's the guidance, and because the messages that they want to transmit are meant to be heard. And that's exactly what they're telling me. So here I am doing the live transmissions. I thank you guys for being here on TikTok. I don't have many followers on TikTok. I don't have many followers in general. I've been a life coach for a long time, and I have my big, pretty significant pool of people. However, I don't I don't have a big presence on social media. I think the biggest presence I have right now is on Facebook. And that's because of my fitness and dance and Zumba backgrounds for years ago. So I have been teaching and training people in the universal laws, and I have been focusing for the last 3-4 years on the abundance and manifestation. So those things they came in handy, but now I'm understanding that actually even the guidance for those particular forces came from my higher self, came from my guides, my angels. And so I am very grateful for them. And okay, I guess you're not here to hear me. I'm recording these transmissions. I know they're new. I know they're different. I know I'm not the only one. More and more people are starting to channeling. And actually, the purpose of the transmissions, the main purpose is not only to confer this information, but it is to tell everybody that you can all channel. You can all channel. It's not something special to the select few. You're all guided. You're all guided by your angels, by your higher self. You have access to this information. However, for many of us, we have to make the space, we have to create the space to open up the channels for this information to be heard. And then the more we hear it and the more we act based on it, the better it gets. Yes, the better it gets, the more information we receive, the more guidance we receive. And the intuitive development, it's the main factor that I recommend in this process. So if you feel that you are right now on the path of awakening, on the path of remembering who you are, that you are more than body and mind, that you are actually soul connected to spirit, to source energy. If you get that, if you are attracted to this kind of messages on YouTube, on social media in general, it's important to just allow yourself the time and space in stillness, in quiet. Meditation, it's an amazing tool. Allow yourself the space to get connected. And so, why is this important? Well, because in a world in which for a while now, we've been quite divided, and especially since 2020, this way, we've been quite divided based on different opinions, different beliefs, right? Beliefs that are not really ours. We haven't been born with them, but we have accumulated them throughout our lives based on the ones who raised us. And so, because these beliefs are there, we have been divided. We have been believed that, it's many people are very extreme. It's my way or the highway. And therefore, there's been this huge segregation in the world. And that has a huge impact at the subtle energy field level. And of course, everything is energy, including these bodies and including our thoughts and including the soul connected to spirit. Everything is energy. However, we are now called to come together to know, to become aware that we are one. So we're called towards oneness and not give in to that uh, division anymore. So not allowing ourselves, like, let's learn not to let ourselves be guided by the lower vibration emotions like doubt and frustration and fear and lack of trust in our merits, lack of trust in our worth, lack of love based on the way we were raised. Our parents and grandparents have received love from their parents and whomever raised them in the way they did, and they just transmitted further the way they knew how. And so we are now called to transcend these conditions, to transcend these programs that have been put in our minds for a very long time for some of us. And of course, we can go into the generational baggages and beliefs that we have brought with us. But now is the time to transcend all that. Now is the time to get to really connect with our own leadership. Each and every one of us has the higher self, which can be anything from one angel to thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of angels and guides. They can be the ascended masters, they can be different cosmic beings, they can be celestial beings. but you wouldn't know who they are unless you connect directly with them. And that it's actually going to protect you from being caught into the um, segregation of humanity, or at least the perception of the separation and segregation of humanity based on common beliefs and common opinions. So it's very important for us to find that inner guidance and to know, not the human mind and human intellect knowing, but the heart and soul knowing. Yes, the know that it's much deeper. So it's time for us to know what direction to take, what's our next best step, not based on the opinions of others, not based on what's happening in the political and economical arena, but based on our own guidance. Our own angels, our own guides are never going to want to take us on a different path than what's the best path for us, which we are souls. So what's the best path for our souls? And so this is the reason why these messages are transmitted. This is the reason why we are here. I am here, and my guides are here with me to tell you that by tuning into the frequency of these transmissions, and there have been 3 before, this is the 4th, and I'm planning on doing them at least Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. This is East Coast, United States. I'm in Florida. So if you have the time to do it, if not, you can see the recordings on my YouTube channel. My name is Sanda Kruger, and I am very humbled and happy to be here and just send these transmissions. I'm not doing anything. I am what they call me, an empty vessel. If you think that this is something that others may benefit from, you can go ahead and share. You can go ahead and like and comment and ask questions. I usually would pick a question and make a transmission, a question that is pertinent to the whole world, that the answer for that question they believe is going to benefit everybody. And so I'm going to choose that question together with them, and we're going to answer it and post the answer in the next transmission. So it is very good to be here. And enough of me talking. I'm going to let them talk. Just give me a second. Just drinking some water. Hydration is a very important part. As I was saying a little bit at the beginning of this transmission, for me to become an empty vessel for them, to become a channel for them, there were some changes needed in my body. There were some activations necessary, which I had no idea about. I didn't know what it's happening, what they're doing, but they were doing it on their own. So they activated some, what the scientists, they said, the human scientists are calling junk DNA, which is a DNA that they believed it was dormant for a very long time. That's the part of our DNA that it's awakening now. And so therefore the remembrances and all kinds of different connections are now making sense in our mind. But it is a process, and so the body needs to be adjusting, and also we need to quiet the mind, quiet the subconscious programming. A lot of healing has to happen, and has to happen first, and it happened in my case. I'm sure there may be more coming up. I don't know if it's it's gonna ever end at any point. However, I know that me, just like everybody else, I've been programmed in a way with all the beliefs that my parents had and the society in which I grew up. And so many of them were not serving me. Many of them were actually self-sabotaging, and there were barriers in my path for manifestation, for happiness and joy. And my calling was to eliminate them. But how can you eliminate them? Well, first, you will have to observe them, to acknowledge that they're there, and then allow them to come to the surface, because many of these beliefs are hidden, especially at the body level, as suppressed emotions. And therefore, those suppressed emotions based on events from our past, they had to be coming to the surface, allowed to come to the surface, and they had to be dealt with. And it is not as scary as it seemed to me at the beginning. Dealing with our suppressed emotions, with my suppressed emotions, was not something that meant that I had to relieve all the pain and all the suffering that I was not able to process as a child, based on my own abandonment trauma and different things. My parents divorced when I was 3, my biological parents, and I was raised by a stepfather who was a narcissist, and that's all he knew. That's all he could do. And so that trauma I had to actually bring to the surface. And at first, I was very scared that I will have to relieve those emotions. And I think that many people are not allowing themselves to bring those emotions to the surface from their very hidden corner of their subconscious, because of this fear of relieving those emotions, because they were painful to start with. So now, why will I bring that back, right? Why will I deal with that? Um, we were told to ignore it, and if it's getting ignored, it's gonna go away. But it doesn't. And I couldn't get to where I am right now. I couldn't open the channels to actually receive the messages on regular basis, and be guided and allow them to speak through me and use my vocal cords until I dealt with those emotions. And I'm telling you that even though before it happened, before I allowed these emotions to come to the surface, it was very, very scary, because I thought I'm going to have to feel everything again. Once that happened, and I opened that door and I allowed the suppressed emotions to come to the surface, it wasn't not even as close to as bad and as overwhelming as my mind told me that it would be. Just an example of how the mind can really sabotage us. It wasn't bad. It was a few seconds at time, a few minutes sometimes, of acknowledgement of those emotions, and then a whole lot of love covered them. A whole lot of love. So all I had to do is to observe these emotions, to allow them to come to the surface, to allow the memories to be acknowledged by me at a conscious mind level, and to just be neutral about them. So I was able to watch this with neutrality, and then this huge wave of love and acceptance, not only of my past, but also of the ones that created, like the adults in my life that created this chaos, that created this traumas by making their own choices in the first place. So it's not as scary as it's the mind makes you seem, makes it seem. It's not as scary, it's not as negative, it's not as overwhelming. But we wouldn't know until we get there. We don't know until we get there. So I want to thank you very much for those who are watching. This is the transmission that I'm going to keep doing from my guides. And with this being said, I'm going to go ahead and let them speak now. And usually how this is happening, it's by me kind of removing myself a little bit to the side, and then they get to just speak through me. And I don't really know what they're gonna say, but I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it's of beneficial. It is beneficial to you, and I'm sorry. Sometimes my English is not the best. However, um, my native language is Romanian, so these transmissions are also happening in Romanian as of a few days ago. So if any of you are Romanians, you can go ahead and tune into Satori Romania, which is my Romanian site and YouTube channel. Okay, so if you feel the inspiration to close your eyes and get into a comfortable position, we invite you at this time to be here with us in this transmission and keep your spine straight up, because what we are sharing today is going to work at the different levels on your chakras, and you will benefit the most if you keep your spine straight, either lying down or sitting. We are happy to be here today, speaking to you through this vessel. We are the Pleiadian High Council of Erra, and we are present in large numbers on and around your planet at this time because we love you and we are offering support to you as humanity and to the planet Earth. Why are we here, you may ask? Well, because humans are our relatives. We are your relatives from above, as you may say, and we are loving you, and we want to offer all our love and support to you in your process of ascension from the 3D, third dimensional densities and a reality into the 5D, fifth dimensional densities and reality. And we know that many of you drawn towards this transmissions, you are what you call star seeds. You are carrying cosmic DNA, and therefore you are our family. Along a human history for hundreds of thousands of years, we have been here guiding you, sometimes in a direct way, like we do now, and sometimes just watching you from above and guiding you at more subtle levels. However, we are here all the time. And by us, we don't mean just Pleiadians. We mean different civilizations, different galactic families as well. Our friends from Andromeda are also here. Our friends from Sirius, Orion, the Arcturians, the Lyrans. We are a group of cosmic entities. Some of us incarnated at the fifth or sixth densities in our planets and stars, and many of us as light bodies at higher dimensions or densities. We also are here to provide support and facilitate connections with your own guides, your own higher self. We are this vessel's guides. She has a contract with us. And if you feel that this resonates with you, it may be important and beneficial to you to connect with your guides, as you may have a soul contract as well. Soul contracts are agreements, understandings that a soul makes with their higher self, and sometimes other beings or other groups of beings, to support in different ways humanity in this case, and to work on the main grid of the planet by spreading high vibrations and working on maintaining humanity's and a planet's highest frequencies. In the last years, as you measure them on Earth, we have been more present, as this is a period of a very important transition for your planet. And so now many who have come here with soul contracts or not are starting to remember and awake to this fifth density missions. This vessel has been through this awakening And we have provided guidance for her every step. Sometimes she would listen and sometimes she would not. However, she is evolving and we are happy to be here and be able to offer these transmissions at this time. By the simple allowing of you listening to transmissions like this, as there are more and more channels, human channels open all over the planet in all languages. As you allow yourself to listen and be receptive to these messages, you are tuning in to our frequency or even higher frequencies, and you are starting to open up your own channels. We communicate with this vessel telepathically, and she then takes our messages and her mind permits the words to represent what we are transmitting. In a way, we are using her vocal cords. However, she is conscious. She is not in a full trance. But for those of you who are analytical and want to know more scientific explanations, even though your human scientists are still working on this, and many of them are coming to terms with these possibilities, all we can offer right now is the fact that her brain changes its wave vibrations from beta, which is the awakened state, into alpha, which is the creative state, and then into theta, which is the channel frequency through which you humans can receive telepathic transmissions from us. We want to mention at this time that it is not the brain in your physical bodies that has the most power, as many of you have believed for many generations, but it is the heart center that facilitates and emanates electromagnetic signals throughout the physical space around you, and also it is the portal through which channeling is happening. This is why it's very important for you to open your hearts. This is why it's very important for you to eliminate all the beliefs and emotions which vibrate at lower frequencies, so you can make space for the heart portal to open for each of you. We will say at this time that forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the key. Your minds have been programmed to hold on to old beliefs and to even judge yourselves and others. However, at the soul level, in the fifth dimension, there is no judgment. There is just love. There is joy and acceptance of everything and all. And we encourage you to embrace forgiveness as the first step for many of you towards opening your heart. You are soul, you are extension of consciousness, and that is all there is. Yes, we will even say at this time that everything you see and perceive as real around you, it is not so. It is, in fact, a construct that you have created like a game. And now you are ready, many of you, to remember that. You planned on coming here to enjoy this game, and for many of you, the goal was to come and remember that this is a game. This is a simulation, and we continue to say that the reason why this is here, it's because we all decided that together this planet is one of the schools, one of the universities, and by coming here, souls are learning, are evolving, are expanding consciousness. You have had many spiritual teachers throughout your last generations and even before. The being that you called Jesus. It is one of the teachers, and he came to show humanity what humanity can do. He never intended to create a following or a religion. He wanted to show everyone who was open to observe that by simply believing, they can also do what he did. We understand that for many of you, this information is different than anything you have been exposed to before. However, we are now choosing to share this information with you because you are ready to hear it. By opening your hearts and forgiving and believing, you are following the paths towards elevating your frequencies. As humans, you have access to a large range of emotions. However, you are not needing to leave all of them. You can now choose to focus and bring into your experiences just the emotions that are aligning you with your higher self. These emotions are vibrations, in fact. When you are on a higher frequency vibration, you feel emotions like love, joy, passion, enthusiasm, appreciation, freedom, and you experience a boost in your intuition. The intuition is your sense that connects you with your guides, with what you call angels and higher self. There was a question that one of you addressed this vessel and others, asking if we are angels, and the answer is no, we are not. We are Pleiadians. We are incarnated in the fifth dimension, fifth density. However, angels are existing as well, and this vessel has them around her all the time. We are also here And she is hopefully more and more listening intuitively to our messages, and our messages are in the same direction and not contradicting at all our angels' messages. Therefore, yes, you can have more than one guide. You can have a whole army of guides. You can have hundreds and thousands of angels that are meant to guide you. And this doesn't mean they all transmit different messages. It means that they speak with us in unison, often in one voice. The frequency we transmit on now is the 5th dimensional frequency. However, there are times when this vessel is connecting to higher frequencies, speaking with what you call the ascended masters and their archangels and their angels. Many of you souls incarnated now on this planet, you are evolved, experienced souls that chose this time of incarnation knowing of the evolutionary path that this planet is going to be on. You came here to offer support and to love humanity and the planet as they are. You are one. In fact, we are one. All there is one. Many of you have a very high power of manifesting the experiences that are needed for you as soul, as extension of spirit to live, to go through here and now in this reality, and therefore follow the plan, the path that you chose. We know that still many light workers are caught, so to speak, in the nets of doubt and third densities. However, we also can observe that many of you are on your own choosing now to open your eyes, just like children are waking up in the morning after a good night's sleep. And sometimes this process of awakening is not the most pleasant, exactly like teenagers who do not want to wake up in the morning. Many of you are feeling this discomfort, and we understand that many of you are confused because the human minds you have are still in control. However, the more you open your hearts, the more you put your selves as souls in control, and therefore the minds become tools, tools in your service. The mind was never meant to be in control of this experience. The soul planned on guiding you in this game. However, because traumas and other experiences have happened to many of you, especially in the first years of your lives here, the mind has became too strong and started leading in ways which do not serve you. It is like in your human experience, you work in a workplace where the boss, the manager, is not qualified to manage. It's not qualified to lead. And it creates more discomfort and chaos. And this is exactly what it's been happening to many of you. And this is why we are guiding this vessel and many of you to bring the soul back to its leadership role. Bring it back from the shadow. The soul is the leader. And we understand that for many, this makes sense at first. However, the mind is asking, how do I do that? And for those, we are offering now a simple exercise that we encourage you to do daily, as often as possible. And it is meant to dissolve the mind part of you enough to where it allows soul to take the leadership again. All you need to do is to find a quiet space, and if you choose so, you can place your hand on your chest and take a breath in, exhale, another deep breath in, deep exhale. One more. And deep, relaxing exhale. And now we encourage you that for 10 minutes at least every day, but also best would be to do it throughout the day, especially when you identify limiting thoughts, to do this following exercise. As you inhale, you will say, I am not my body. As you exhale, you will say, I am not my mind. I am not my body. I am not my mind. I am not my body. I am not my mind. And so you continue to do this for at least 10 minutes, and every time you need to dissolve more and more your personality, your human heart. It is necessary now to bring into your awareness your true self, your true identifiers, and we have guided this vessel to create courses and different programs meant for that. The more you get in touch with your soul and the more you allow the soul to be the leader in your experience, the easier it's going to get for you to align with your higher self and to follow the path, the scenario, the experience that you intended to have here. Most of you intended to live happy and glorious lives here on earth with fulfillment and presence, and by embracing every experience. However, by looking around you, you can see that that has not been the case. And now you are invited to refine your path. We are guiding this vessel to offer more transmissions and to also channel different frequencies and therefore offer light languages and transmissions which can be used for healing of emotional baggage, and this will lead to physical body healing as well. Please know that all, absolutely all your physical diseases are based on emotions. All of them. And therefore, this healing is very important. We thank you for receiving our transmission. We thank you for being here and experiencing and evolving as you do. We thank you for being of service for humanity at this time and for the Mother Earth and for accepting and embracing the fact that you are one. We thank you. We thank you. We love you. We love you. And so it is. Okay. Okay. So as I am coming out of this, I guess I will start transmitting more and more of this I guess transmissions as they come to me, and I will let them do most of the work. I'm just allowing them to speak directly through me, and hopefully this is helping you and you are benefiting from it the most. And I just want to thank you for being here with me today. I know that it's unusual for many of you, especially my friends on Facebook, who may think that I've lost my mind, which I totally understand. With this being said, I will say that I am open for taking questions and transmitting them. Well, they see them, so I don't transmit them, but receiving questions. However, if you do have personal questions, if you do want to get connected with your own guides, with your higher self, I do offer one-on-one sessions as well. They're based on donation, and it's just an exchange of energy, and it's necessary. So if you want to just ask them any questions, and if you want them to facilitate the connection with your own guides, they are very open to do so. And I'm very happy to be here and allow them to do it through me. And so thank you again. And I am very, very grateful for you receiving this transmission. And I will see you again soon. Thank you.